Helen was an 86-year-old Chinese woman who had very advanced dementia. She was living at home with her daughter, and she was receiving hospice care. One morning, Helen's daughter came into her room to find her breathing only 4 times a minute and moaning softly. Helen was dying. Helen's daughter panicked, and as sometimes happens, instead of calling the hospice, she called 911, the ambulance. And the paramedics came, and they whisked Helen off to the emergency department. And when Helen's daughter arrived in the emergency department, the doctor pulled her aside. And he asked her, "Would you like us to do everything possible for your mom?" Now, what do you think she said? Yes, of course. I mean, can you imagine? You go to the emergency room and the doctor says, "Would you like us to do everything possible for your mom?" And you say, "For my mom, half would be plenty. Don't knock yourself out. She's a quitter anyway." It's just a terrible question because there's only one answer that may not be the right answer. So, of course, Helen's daughter said yes. And the emergency room doctor calls the ICU team, and he calls the medical team to come down and take care of Helen. They're going to put a big IV in her neck, a tube down her throat, antibiotics, x-rays, draw blood. It turned out on that day, one of our palliative care doctors happened to be on call for the medical team. And he heard the story, and he raced down to the emergency room, and he beat the ICU team to the emergency room, because sometimes in palliative care, you have to be fast. And he looked at the situation, and he immediately could see what was going on. And he pulled Helen's daughter aside, and he asked her this question: "How were you hoping we could help?" And Helen's daughter held up a shopping bag. And she said, "We brought new clothes because we want to dress her in new clothes for her journey to the next life." And the doctor said, "Well, that's really important. We should do that right here in the emergency room. And we'll give her some pain medication so she can be more comfortable. And then we'll move her upstairs to a quiet room, and your whole family can be with her." And Helen's daughter said, "Yes, thank you." And that's what happened. Because the doctor had the courage to see what was going on, to name it, to ask about hope, and then to act on it.